And welcome to another episode of More Than Dice, episode 200. Holy free holies. That's a lot of episodes.
It is.
A jit ton of episodes. I would never have thought that we'd gotten to 200 episodes.
I mean, I would have, but...
Well, I mean, that's just like when we started out, it was like, oh, yeah, this is cool. We're having fun. And then it just kept going and kept going and kept going and kept going.
And we're still having fun.
And still. So, I mean, it's just, I was reflecting back on that today. But before we get started on all that, let's go ahead and give a shout out to Muse on Minis for helping us out and getting our podcast and all of our channels and everything sent out to everybody. Don't forget, if you go to their website, use the code More Than Dice, all one word. You'll get 10% off your order. And they have some really good MCP tokens that are quality items that you can get from them. That actually breaks down a lot of their token sets that come in the box set a lot easier for people.
More intuitive.
Yeah, they're easier to predict and see what they are. Also, Mini Master Works for supporting us. We do have an affiliation code, and you can go and check them out. And a link that you can find on all of our pages. And you can get 10% off the order there too. And he has some really good quality stuff, especially the paint shaker. The little Vortex paint shaker was like a really hot item right now. He's selling those like crazy because they're way below the cost of what everybody else is selling them for. And
Are they selling like hotcakes?
Selling like flaming hotcakes.
I wouldn't buy flaming hotcakes.
Well, that's because they're covered in bourbon first, you know.
I would eat that.
I don't buy stuff that's on fire. I might buy stuff and set it on fire. That's different. I do not buy things currently on fire.
I have absolutely bought things that are on fire.
It's not everyone's rule. It's just my rule.
Oh, Legionnaires, everything needs whipped cream.
But I mean, go check them out. We always want to say thank you to them. I would not be surprised if you saw both of those companies at Adepticon, if you're planning on going. And if you are, make sure you check out all the announcements that are coming up, because we're going to be there and we're going to have a good time and we're going to hang out. And hopefully everybody else will be there so we can see you too. John, what are you drinking today?
Well, I've got a Dr. Pepper mixed with Kraken rum, but I'm going to start off with the last of my Four Roses whiskey that I got for my birthday.
That's good. That's a good brand too. Four Roses is quality. Kathy, what you got today?
I would like to say that I'm drinking 18-year-old Lagavulin, but I don't have that, so I'm drinking a Pinot Noir instead that I had with my ham.
Okay. I am using my traditional Macallan's special edition that I'm going to be drinking tonight. And it is good quality stuff. Before we give our cheers out, guys, please make sure that you are getting your vaccination, get your booster, wash your hands, still go out with your mask, so on and so forth. Be safe. We want to see everybody in a couple of months at Adepticon, and we want to make sure that you're there. So please, please, please do that. John, do we have any shout-outs this week?
Do we? We just heard about Bob Saget. We talked about, died at 65. From America's Funniest Home Videos and from Full House. I watched one of those, not the other. Spoiler, it was the America's Funniest Home Videos. A great comedian whose stuff was a lot more risque than anyone realized based on what his TV persona was.
Yeah, his TV persona, he was the good dad. His comedy persona,
dad. Yeah, but
he was raunchy.
Yes.
Jinx.
And then, of course, Sidney Poitier passed as well this week.
Yes.
Academy Award-winning actor. Won just about any award an actor can win in his career.
Yeah, I think he was also like the first African American to win Best Actor or something.
He was a trailblazer. He did a lot of leading roles when they didn't think that black actors could have leading roles, and he didn't shy away from politically charged movies. So.
Oh no, yeah, he stuck out there. He was throwing the big middle finger up. The best way to put it to say to people.
Yes. It may not be one that people from, say, my generation and on know too well because he wasn't in a ton of movies. But, previous generation will know him from a ton of movies.
Oh, yeah.
More about that in the media section.
Yep. Got plenty of that. So, guys, like we said, please wear your mask. We want to see everybody in a couple of weeks at Adepticon, and we want to make sure everybody's safe there. So I think registration opens up on the 11th at like 7 p.m. Central or something like that. So everybody can get in. So if you plan on registering for events, I know that some people are definitely be taking some hobby courses and stuff. I know that even the second best WAPL will be teaching some classes there. Which would be really cool. I'm thinking about possibly trying to take one of those because that way I can just spend time with that man.
Yeah, James Wapple is teaching at least one basing class, and he's teaching at least one oil paints.
Yeah, he's teaching an oil one, and a basing one. I think he's teaching one other class too, but I don't remember what it was. But I thought the oil one would be really, really cool.
Might be doing 2 of those. If he's doing 3 classes, then it's a double of one of those.
Yeah. He's still just an awesome dude. So, to everybody out there, be safe. See you in a couple of months. I almost said weeks. Couple of months. Cheers.
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 Oh, damn. Johnny, you okay?
Yeah, that's good.
Man, that's really good. Whew. Got a little bite right there. So, we're on episode 200. When originally John and I started this, we were jumping off from another one, going to this one. And John and I really didn't know each other we weren't like super close. We didn't know each other's personal life, We didn't know.
Yeah, Menoth John had brought you into painting Menoth John. I didn't really know who you were, so to speak.
Yeah. And it was just there. And then, it went off from there, and I was like, hey, you want to do something else? And John's like, yeah, I'll do something else. And we had Seth, and of course Seth was with us for a few episodes, but had to go because of work and just couldn't hang out and stuff. And it was not much longer after that I snagged the awesome Kathy. Cold call Kathy, by the way. It was quickly, just a cold call.
Message while I was literally driving back from ReaperCon from Texas to to Chicago.
Well, what was funny is I messaged Lynn. And I says, hey, we got somebody that's, leaving our podcast. And we want to find somebody that's going to be, our hobby paint person, blah, 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 to be on there and stuff. And she was like, well, here's a list of people. And I went down it and I looked up the people and was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh, who's this Kathy lady?
Who is this Kathy Wapple anyways?
Well, the funny thing is Kathy had actually been on a podcast with me and Menoth John at one point.
I had, yes. Me and Jen, we were on it together.
And John was a big fan of you guys. I had no idea who you guys were. I wasn't plugged into that. I'm just like, oh, cool guests, yay!
And I knew John Spencer from that, and I remembered you from that. So when Gonzo contacted me and was like,
"My God, more food? Oh, it's a drink. Okay.
This is my tea. This is my ginger tea. Not more food." Yeah, he was like, "Me and Jono Spencer are doing this thing," and I was like, "Oh, I remember John from painting with Menoth John."
Yeah, because I sent you, it says, hey, check out some stuff. And we did the podcast, we did the episode, John had to go. And we did the episode, it was the all-female cast, talking about female painters and artists.
That was
and stuff like
the
that.
first one. I snuck in on that one, and it happened to be on my birthday.
Yeah. Oh. And
little known fact, it happened to be my birthday that night.
And that's when you announced that you were going to be on. And I remember whenever we first did this, and I asked if you would like to do, because we were trying to do some stuff for Patreon, and it was filming tutorial videos. And I remember you were like, I hate fucking tutorial videos.
It's funny because at first I was like, oh, I can do this. This will be fine. And then I tried to do it, and I was like,
This is
I
not
don't know
fine.
what the fuck I'm doing. And this is why I don't teach classes at conventions.
Oh, Kathy, I feel that way every time I pick up a paintbrush. Don't know what the fuck I'm doing?
I do have days like that, yeah.
Uh.
Even now. But yeah, I was like, I don't know how to explain myself. I don't know how to teach people. I don't know how to come up with a lesson plan. I don't know how to come up with a quick, easy half-hour anything, really. Like, ask me to teach you how to build a fire. I can do that in less than a half an hour. Other than that, it's not me. I can't do it. So that was a struggle for me, and I think I did 3 or 4 video tutorials.
Yeah, because
then I was like, I can't do this, and this is just, it was ramping up my anxiety and everything.
Yeah, because we actually were giving away a model too at a certain Patreon level that you were painting up, and we stopped it because it was becoming. We actually got in trouble from Patreon because of that.
It was the raffles. They were.
Yep.
They don't allow that, and it says so right in their terms of service. So.
Which was interesting because there's a ton of people that still do it, but they get away with it.
Yeah.
But we got dinged.
They word it. I don't know what goes on. I haven't seen any Patreons lately that are doing raffles. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know that there are certain other ones that used to do raffles all the time that no longer do that. And they've had to come up with other ways to entice people to pledge to their Patreons, like provide content. Weird, I know.
I know, weird. Just provide content.
Content's such a fickle thing.
But yeah, and we went from there, and we actually started getting into our groove, where we just started. Sometimes we have a subject, and sometimes we don't have a subject, and sometimes we're just like, hey, let's just get together and we just all hobby together and we can just talk about stuff, and the subject or whatever's going on comes up as we're playing.
That's like 90% of our podcasts is us just hobbying together talking
that's just for you and me, Kathy. Gonzo already has some topic made. He just doesn't tell us in advance.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, sometimes I don't. Most of the time,
then we just like right off the top of our head, it's like, oh, we want to talk about primers and using rattle can primers versus airbrush and how the weather affects your ability to prime models.
Because there's sometimes, let's think about it. 200 episodes and trying to come up with original content every single time.
It would be different if we were just doing it once a month.
Correct.
Yes.
And then we'd have time to
plan.
But who's fooling anybody? It'd be the same.
Just less frequent.
But honestly, it's really just about getting together and talking about a hobby we love, which encompasses all of these things like tabletop war games and role-playing games and painting miniatures and board games and card games sometimes, and just talking about it together. The community, talking about the tournaments, talking about the conventions that encompass all of this, people we meet at them, and all of it. And it's fun to get together once a week and just talk about this stuff. And then talk about the movies and TV shows that we're watching at the very end, which I kind of is a favorite thing of mine, because I haven't watched so many movies like in my life as I've watched over the last couple of years.
And we give each other plenty of crap too, as we've just seen by John making sure I put my cat ears back on.
Yeah, man, it's a tough life wearing the cat ears. You have to.
And amazingly enough, it was 3 years, I think, that I streamed on More Than Dice before I decided to branch out and start streaming on my very own channel, which I wouldn't have had the confidence to do if I hadn't have started doing it at More Than Dice.
Well, what was interesting, because whenever, we talked about, you doing it on other times besides the podcast time and do painting, you would ask me a lot of questions on how to get stuff going and how to do things. And, Gonzo, this isn't working, and how do I get this? I'm like, okay, hold on. All right, I fixed it. It's fixed. All right, this is how you do this.
Early on, I knew nothing. Nothing. So.
Yeah, because I was waiting. I mean, it was about year 2 or so or whatever. Or we'd been doing this for quite a while, and you'd been streaming on here, and you started making your own screens and your own stuff. And I was like, she's gonna branch out. Let her do it at her own pace. Let her do it at her own pace. Don't force it. Just let her do it when she wants to.
He knew I was gonna do that before I knew I was gonna do that. So.
Yeah. And I was like, and then you messaged us, and I was like, yep. It was only a matter of time, which is okay. Like somebody had asked me about she's moving away. I'm like, no, Kathy has her own business. That's what people don't understand. Kathy has her own business, and she's got to make money, and it's got to go, with this painting. And it's a Kathy channel. And what was interesting that came out from all of this, of you going to your own channel to do the painting off of the podcast, is John started streaming more. And
yes. And that's fantastic. There was more time for John to be streaming. Yeah.
Yes. Which I think is interesting, because it was John streaming, and it's always hilarious when John started doing it. He messaged me and was like trying to get things set up, and he was like, "Fucking Skype it, god damn it, you fucking."
Was it the same kind of thing?
I don't use slobs.
Doing?
Yeah.
I don't use slobs anymore. I stopped using slobs because
yeah,
the standard OBS is so much better.
Yeah.
I've heard that. I've heard that. I'm
here to tell you, because slobs not working intuitively, and the documentation was shitty. So I'm like, OBS. I'm like, oh, this is all much more intuitive, and documentation done. Using that.
Yeah.
And I'm over here like I don't even know what documentation is. I have no clue.
That's the instruction manual, Kathy.
Nothing. I only know that I received help before my very first time streaming on my own channel. The night before, or 2 nights before, my friends Leaguer Dragon and Car Crusher, who both stream, helped me get my chat bot set up and some commands, some rudimentary commands and stuff. And without that help, I mean, that was key. That was such a huge help. And Gonzo would have helped me too. I didn't want to bug him. And V was like, I mean, we play in 3 role-playing games together. We're always talking.
Well, we actually have our own online community, if you think about it. And it ranges from all of us just other streamers to people that just come in and listen and watch to us all the time. And, we bounce around ideas and get things going and just have a good time. And everybody, the group of people we have, for the most part, I don't want to say for the most part, people that watch us and listen to us are always willing to help. And we all jump into each other's streams all the time. Just say, hey, how's it going? Do what we can.
Kathy was on this morning.
I was. I saw John was streaming and I wasn't doing anything. So I'm like, I got to go say hi to John.
Watch the bees.
You know what? That was interesting. It was the first time I really got a chance to watch you play. So that was fun. Bania goes, oh, please, not another Discord.
Yeah, because we actually got asked if we would do our own Discord, if we would do our own webpage. And I was like, we don't need to pay for a webpage. You can get everything off our Facebook page. If you need to message us, you can message us on our Facebook page.
Yeah,
Discord.
It would be nice, but I mean, we all have other jobs, unfortunately. We really...
Yeah.
And too many hobbies. We all have too many hobbies.
Correct.
Let's not delude ourselves. Too many.
And if it was going to Discord, I would make a More Than Dice channel on someone else's Discord and not make a full Discord, because that's a lot of stuff. I mean, I still keep up with all the socials and stuff that we have and the postings to all the different places that
Like,
we need
I don't have. I mean, technically, I do have my own Discord, but no one's on it. I only made it for a D&D group I used to play with that I don't play with anymore. So I have my own little section in the Pyro Club Discord. And that's where, I mean, over the course of a couple of years, that's the Discord I was most active on. We have a community there, and so eventually I was like, hey, can I just get a little area in here once I started streaming myself? And they were like, sure, of course you can. And and we're all playing role-playing games together, or playing video games together, or everybody there is part of everybody's life. Like, if I was going to go to Massachusetts, I would be sure to come and visit the people I know who live there, who are in that Discord. My friend V is in that Discord, and she lives in Minnesota. So when I was up there, I got to visit her in real life for the first time, which is fun. And so it's, that Discord, I mean, we're more like family now, really.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, for the MechWarrior Online side, if it's Discord, Ninja John's got a place that we all just go in for that. We'd love to do that, but there's so many other good Discords, and like Banyan said, it's really hard keeping up with them all. So
there's so many, and there's a lot of crossover I've found out among all the ones that I belong to that are miniature painting related. It's like this. Occasionally, I run across like the same person posting the same exact thing across like 7 different Discords.
I'm like, oh, hey, you changed your name on this Discord. Interesting. Or, oh, hey, your Discord name is different than your Twitter name.
I keep my same name in all of them, so that,
yes,
because I feel like that eliminates the confusion, and I'm not trying to hide from anybody. I don't have that kind of drama in my life where I have to do that.
I agree with Banyan. It's really hard to keep up, because, I mean, not only do you have my personal Facebook, you got Warfare Weekends, More Than Dice, all the Instagrams that go with that. I have a Discord for the guild I'm with in Final Fantasy. I'm like, that's enough. I don't want to. So yeah, I mean, that was kind of the reason why I never really wanted us to have a Discord to begin with. I'm like, nah. Just too much stuff.
It is a good way to keep track of the community, though.
It is. Oh, yeah. 100%.
And there are a few where, yeah, there are a bunch of the same people in it, but then there's a few people in, so-and-so's Discord that I would like to be in touch with who aren't in any of these other ones, and those are the people. And that's what makes, one Discord, special over whatever other ones that I belong to.
Mm-hmm. I have 35 Discords.
Oh my God.
I don't actually go into half of them. More than half, probably.
Yeah, I don't have that many, but I'm the same way. There are
every time you Patreon support somebody, like, join our Discord. It's linked. Yeah. I'm like, okay. Sure. Discord, mute. No, I don't want to see anything ever. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, that's the first thing I do. Mute notifications, mute the everyone and all that stuff. I'm like, I don't
I'll like go in if like I need something, like, oh, hey, this podcast I follow that I support on Patreon, let me jump in and ask a question real quick. Cool, answered out.
Yep. Or it just puts me in touch with some people who I want to just direct message,
But yeah, but it is also a good point that is a good interaction for people in a couple years that have been fucking crazy and people have needed more interaction.
Oh yeah.
Especially the voice and video chat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just like today, I was, for instance, in Discord, not in a channel, but just in a direct message. I watched a movie with somebody from another country.
Yeah. I mean, the MechWarrior Online Discord, you didn't get to get any of that when you dropped in, but when the guys come in, we're just chatting all while we're playing.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's just good fun. Sometimes we even put in there, we'll be chatting games and we'll have our cameras on, just be, you know, between matches or whatever, just chatting it up, seeing what we're all doing. It's super good. But yes, that's why we don't want another Discord, because while we'd love to have you guys as a community, there's a lot of crossover and all.
We
And
don't need another Discord.
thank you, Tina Turner.
Yeah, it was because I actually at one point I tried to get morethandice.com, and I looked into that, and I was looking into it, and someone else had already bought that domain, and I actually was looking to see when the domain was going to come up to be, you know, not bought again or whatever, but someone kept on buying it every single year. And it's actually now a hacked website with some crazy.
It's down now. It's
Yeah,
not there anymore.
yeah. It's actually the name is bought and held, but there's nothing there anymore.
That's
Sometimes.
fine. We'll leave that.
And I was like, nah, not gonna worry about it.
Yeah, I mean that's like pie in the sky, future perfect world where we got
Correct.
a website and everything to add all this stuff on, but we just want to have fun.
Yeah, because I mean, I actually once people started getting our name and everything, and people started knowing who we are and so on and so forth, people were like, "Well, you need to really monetize everything, and you know, you need to get all this money, and you need to, you know, pimp yourself and all this stuff." And I was like, "Well, there's certain things that, you know,
We want to have fun.
I wouldn't
Kathy's
mind."
frozen.
When we first started, I was like, I wouldn't mind if somebody, you know, did this, or we got this and everything. I was like, nah. Eventually it came around to no. Dang, John, your camera.
Hey, I mean, sometimes they need to be big.
But I mean, we actually have, like I said, one of our listeners did buy and purchase a computer for not only for us but also for Warfare Weekend. He was like, I want to do a donation to More Than Dice and Warfare Weekend, and bought us a brand new computer that I get to use, because he was like, I also want to do something for you, it'd be nice. And so we do have that. But I mean, there was a lot of people that would come up to me and go, you need to start monetizing and getting more money into your podcast. And I'm like, I don't. That's not the point.
That's not what we're about. We're about having fun. If we want to monetize it, sure, we can do all this stuff and all that, but that's not the point.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I got us on all the channels and everything else, so everybody can find us on whatever. But I mean, I was like, you need to, because I would get emails from everybody going, from different things. You need to monetize this so you can get. I'm like, nobody's gonna buy this.
No, yeah, and every subscriber we get during one of my MechWarrior Online podcasts, I put back into playing MechWarrior Online, just because it tells me you guys are enjoying what I'm doing, so I'm gonna put it right back into that so you can guys see more fun stuff.
Yeah,
like cat ears that light up.
Cat ears that light up, huh?
Worth it, 100%.
But I mean, it was a lot. There was a lot of people that were pushing me to put and monetize a lot of stuff, and I'm like, nah, not worth it. Not worth it. And we have too much fun just doing stupid shit anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the point of us.
Definitely.
But I mean, it is still hilarious. I'm there every once in a while, and we haven't heard it. I haven't had that happen because of course I haven't been able to go anywhere. That someone comes up and says, "Hey, you're Gonzo from More Than Dice, right?" I'm like, yeah. and it's still kind of weird. But I mean,
I've never had that happen.
Oh yeah.
You're Gonzo from More Than Dice, aren't you? Nope.
Nope. I'm Kathy. Can't you tell?
I did have people at Adepticon tell me that they watched my streams when I was streaming on when I first started streaming on More Than Dice, and I had only been doing it for maybe 6 months, and that's when I decided, because I got such positive feedback at Adepticon from people who watched my streams, and I decided to do it 4 times a week instead of just 2 times a week, and then I changed from morning to afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
So So yeah, so thanks to the feedback of people, I was reassured that yes, there were people who actually appreciated my streams.
Yeah.
So yay.
Well, what's
Right,
interesting about all of that is whenever we were doing this and you were doing the afternoons, I had people that would message and say, y'all need to do this and this and this and this. No, that's Kathy. Kathy does whatever Kathy wants.
Yeah.
That's what Kathy gets to do.
Whatever
And-
Kathy wants.
Yeah, goes,
Kathy
well,
gets.
she should do more. I says, no, you don't tell anybody
Don't
what to
tell
do.
us, tell her.
And don't even tell her. That's what she wants to do.
Well, I mean, you can
Because
tell,
Kathy,
like,
how many
well-
times do you get interrupted trying to paint by stupid shit happening in the stream and you don't get to paint because you're having too much fun?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
I love like V is always joking, no painting, only distraction.
Yes.
No painting, only distraction. And there's a lot of distraction. And I have fun when I'm just painting, but I also have fun when I'm being distracted by the people in chat. I absolutely appreciate that, and it's so much fun.
well, V's the reason I've got these. She was like, how many channel points for John to put on cat ears? I'm like, well, I don't have cat ears. Let me see what I can do.
So apparently I need somehow to figure out cat ears too.
The more funny was literally Monday on my stream after the Sunday Sunday morning she mentioned it. We talked about it amongst ourselves on Sunday evening. The next Monday night, she's like, John, cat ears. I'm like, what? Do you think I ordered them yesterday and they just mystically showed up today during a snowstorm? She's like, yes. I'm like, okay, they did, but I haven't charged them or anything.
I remember when you told us that because it was like, even Kathy was like, what? They're already there?
Yeah, that's amazing.
I get home after leaving work early because of snow, and there's a little misshapen pile in front of the door. I'm like, what is that? And I'm like, it's a package. I'm like, oh my God, it's the headphones already. What the hell?
That is amazing. I've had so many packages that are just in transit or whatever. I had a thing that said it was delivered on Friday and it just showed up today. I've had things that were supposed to be there 2 days later, but then they decided that it was going to be delayed for like 2 weeks instead. And I'm like, come on. I thought I had Prime for the whole 2-day delivery. Could you just be honest and tell me it's not going to be 2 days anymore? I understand if it's not going to be 2 days anymore because everything is crazy.
Well, heck, you're not getting 2 days, and I'm getting fucking less than 24 hours.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
getting,
It was like 12
overnight.
hours, basically.
Yeah, because when you told me that, I was like, what the hell? And then Banyan tells me, I guess y'all are 30 minutes from a major Amazon distribution warehouse.
They
Yeah,
must
there's one
have
in
had
Buffalo.
them just at that warehouse.
Yeah. They could have thrown it out the door at you. Drone shipped it, probably.
Drone shipped. Yeah, maybe not around here so much. Yeehaw! Bam! Caught me another one, Ma. Oh.
I could just see that too. That's going to be the new trend. Instead of people being porch pirates, they're drone pirates.
Well, that's why he would
Yeah.
never do drones because
That's
you
not
want
gonna
that many
like they
firearms
had
discharged
talked
into the
about
air.
that, but that's like there's so many opportunities to pirate those.
Plus, I mean, there's a lot more of technological leaps and bounds to make before that's possible as well.
Uh-huh.
That was going to crack me. Well, let's go over. I'm going to go over to the painting. I want to get some of this done, and
Yeah.
the other segment of why we were doing this. Camera rotate. Type thing. So, and this is another thing that really came out because of the podcast. How's my on camera? Was I started painting more and getting better because I have awesome co-hosts that give me tons of shit for my painting. So, I'm going to be working on some more Astro
Do I
Model.
give him shit for his painting?
No.
Never.
Ever.
Never.
I thought I was
And-
innocent. I thought that was totally,
I don't. Ever. I
So,
don't give anybody shit for their painting, but I will give them shit for being lazy.
which I do. But I got to work on my Warcaster stuff because, of course, this was going to be taken to Adepticon. And this is also the models that are using the color shift paint. I don't know how. Oh,
Oh, you might want to shift your camera upwards a little bit
yeah.
or shift your hand further down.
Yeah, there we go.
Whatever's more comfortable.
Type thing. So, gonna be working on these and getting these done.
I do like that color scheme.
It turned out really good. I kind of call it my futuristic Joker scheme because it's a bluish purple and then the green.
That's just a really good color scheme, anyways. The purple and green.
Yeah, it came out really well. So, using that color, the contrast paint on the green, going through this, and another thing that came about was trying and doing different techniques and using different things. Like, I've never used inks before and stuff like that. So I was like, ooh, I will use that. And so been using that and different paints from different companies. And I would have never painted this well on this model if it wasn't for the podcast. This right here, to me, is one of my most favorite models I painted, and I think one of my best models that I've painted. I would have never have tried this little galaxy crap if it wasn't for people saying you can do it, or Kathy going, you can do it.
Use a photo reference. You can do it.
Yep.
And turned out pretty damn sweet.
Be surprised how well you can paint just with the photo reference, because now you've got a visual of what it looks like. Your mind's eye is good, but your eyes are better. It's
so much easier to match something like that you're looking at. Anytime that there's nature, even if it's something totally unrelated to what you're painting, but it has the same colors and shadows and the kind of colors you want to use from light to dark, that's a good reference. But like if you're painting an owl miniature and you get pictures of owls, it's going to make your life so much easier.
So with this model, I'm definitely... I got to go and get all the spots that I'm going to do green with a little bit of white. And I'm using this ink. I
know the one. Yep.
Daler-Rowney.
Yeah, I've got that. I also have the gray of that as well.
How do you...
It's good stuff.
I've never used... I mean, usually you use the ink. Everybody said the white ink is like amazing.
Oh, fuck. That's what I should be doing on my car door. Dumbass.
What? White ink?
Yeah, rather than just painting this fucking white that made it look like shit.
Hell yeah.
I mean, hold on. So I did light gray and this started painting white. Now it's all streaky and bullshitty. I'm not sure if you can see it from here, but it doesn't show up well on the camera. But the pictures in person, it's like...
Oh, yeah.
It looks,
I like that.
I like the idea of it. Just looks fucking terrible right now. Yeah, I finished Domino and she looks great. I agree. And then I do that and I'm like, fuck.
And I'm just over here like trimming off. I made a base today. I had to make a base for this cat wizard.
Bania.
And I'm just trimming off some of the sand and gravel that I glued to the side of the base that's not supposed to be on the side of the base.
Oh, yeah. I always try and trim that off. Though, honestly, the one good thing about the Marvel Crisis Protocol is I don't have to do a lot of basing.
Yeah, that's one thing about their bases.
Well, I don't. That's not to say I don't. In fact, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to... Hold on a second. John's going in here.
Uh-oh.
Technical problems incoming because John's doing something stupid.
What?
Hey, I gotta be true to form here, you know.
John seldom does something stupid.
False. All right. That work? I'll screw up the size of it. Nope, that's good. Okay. So there's the ink. I also have the ink. We'll see if it looks... I don't know how much you guys can see there, but it's a little... I don't want to say chalky, but almost chalky. The light's going to totally... Let me see if I can...
Wash everything out.
Oh, white is so hard to do with on cameras.
Yep.
Well, I've got a light on my camera. I can just turn it down a little bit. Yeah, it's hard to see, but it's it's a little too much. So I'm going to try and use the ink, I think, to clear it out. But what was I talking about? Oh, bases. Yes.
Bases.
So
Bases.
here's a perfect example. We'll look at Toad here. So the wall is the base portion here. But all the stuff around it is actually GW astrogranite debris.
Really?
Yeah, so I just put it on there so it looks like rubble. And I think it does a great job of making it look less stark, otherwise it's not just this random piece of wall sitting in the middle of fucking, concrete. What the fuck's going on here? Now it looks like, oh, rubble and shit. Cool. Even something as big as Magneto here.
Magneto. He's Neato.
So, part of this is actually their stuff, and then around it I did the astrogranite debris. The thing there. I think it does a good job of making it look more like an actual, pile of rubble that's not just sitting there, random rubble in the middle of the road. That was my big problem with it looking at it, is it's all just very stark. Suddenly wall, suddenly rubble.
Rubble.
I was about.
So I think it makes a difference, because it's okay if you get like her wall. Just discount the fact that it looks like that behind it. Who fucking cares about that? This is the important part. So I didn't do it on this because it looks like a whole wall. There might be some rubble, but it didn't seem necessary. It wasn't as stark. It wasn't like, suddenly randomly you have this little wall bit in the middle of the road or whatever. But the rubble around it looks like it's, part of something. My little hack. But that's like all I have to do basically for basing. Yeah, good job, drunk guy. I also use it for similar stuff for these guys for their base. Still perfecting that, but it helps. Texture it looks good. Little foliage afterwards will help as well. There we go.
Well, I have based this cat wizard now. I am gluing the cat wizard to the base. And yeah, I think it's time for priming. I made bases. I spent. Oh, this one isn't done. This is my my crazy wall that I did on stream. I made the wall out of pink foam.
Oh, that's good job. That's good stuff.
Is everybody enthralled by me putting white ink on my model?
I was wondering if Skype kicked me out or something. I'm like, I don't hear anything. What happened?
I got quiet all of a sudden. I was like, I guess everybody's just enthralled by me white inking this model. Or maybe Kathy got kicked out.
Oh, she does look like she's frozen again.
Oh, she must be having internet issues.
I mean, let me say for the record, after 200 episodes of this particular podcast, fuck Skype.
I've actually been trying to figure out something else.
I mean, we should be able to do a Discord. I just know it's going to be interesting. I'm not sure if you're going to have to clean that up now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if the connectivity works as well as we'd like, but we can see. And if not, damn it, let's talk to people about making this work, damn it. That's how you get shit done. Most of these people are just like, you want that? Let's see if we can do that thing.
Oh my god, I didn't even realize Skype booted me out again. Like, Skype just closed on me again while I was talking about my little experience painting this wall.
Oh, well, what'd you miss? I said fuck Skype. How about ketchup?
Pretty much, yeah. I was talking about how I made the texture on my brick wall instead of using aluminum foil, like a ball of aluminum foil for the texture, which is fantastic thing to do. But I didn't have any aluminum foil, so I just took one of these metal I looked around, what can I use? I have a metal model that wouldn't be too bendy if I just press it into this. That's what I did.
I'm still kind of shocked. Aluminum foil, huh? I've
Yeah,
never
you,
heard
you
that.
you crumple it up into a ball and then you just press it in and it just makes these random indentations that give it that nice stone texture sort of
Uh,
thing.
I just when I was making my bases for my ogres, my trolls, I just randomly cut bits into it to make it look random, and then I use a little bit of the astrogranite debris and shit on there to give it a little bit of texture here or there.
This is even more random and more lazy. My other lazy trick that I did is while using Sculpey or the Daz air dry clay is just pressing rocks into it to get the rock sculpture or rock
Mhm.
texture. Just pressing rocks into it. It doesn't work as well on pink foam, but the texture of a crumpled up ball of aluminum foil is sharp enough to make better indentations in pink foam.
Fair enough.
And
That's
apparently a metal model that doesn't have a lot of little pointy, bendy parts on it is also good for that.
I will file those away for future notice. I mean, we have aluminum foil downstairs, but I will file that away for future notice.
Yeah, this is the first time that Skype has done this to me. Like,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
can't remember
good.
another time where Skype has randomly just closed on
I,
me.
the other thing is, I feel like we need to figure out how to make Discord work for that because Discord has been fucking awesome.
Discord is fantastic for the voice,
Yeah,
but I don't know how it would work for doing
video?
the video part.
yes, that's the only problem I have.
We'd have to sit here and get like
Wait.
two people on and test it out.
And we can get like VTuber avatars instead. Yeah. Those aren't creepy at all. Some of them are really good. Some of them are a little creepy. There's a guy who literally had like a cartoon of his face and just had the lips moving, and I was like, that is the creepiest fuck. No.
There's a streamer called The Liching Hour, and he does some amazing role-playing stuff, but he also does this thing called Viva La Dungeon, which is a sort of a game where people go in and into the dungeon and kill each other. But in his stream, he has his head is a pineapple, but with lips. And his eyes are one cyclopean eye in the middle of his head. It's really weird looking, but it's hilarious.
Well, I know one of the I'm gonna call her an MWO streamer, but she actually streams a lot of other stuff, including Elite Dangerous and Mini. She actually has a pirate space bunny avatar that's got all the movements and all. It's actually pretty good. It's not creepy at all, unlike some of the other ones I've seen. So it was good. It's like the next wave. The next wave.
Mm-hmm. I was all set to start maybe priming stuff here. That's what I was going to do. I was like, I can't prime this because I still need to finish the base. The wall is done, but the base, this is the back of the wall too. The pink foam was so thin that it needed some support. So I just took this is like the cardstock on a blister package of a miniature. So I just glued that to the back and cut out the outline of it.
Yeah.
Just to make it less flimsy.
Yeah, it's good support.
I've never done a backdrop for a model like this with a big, plinth and stuff, but, first time for everything, right?
Well, I mean, that was the first time I did any big thing like that. I just didn't like her standing in the middle out in the open, crouch like that, and I hated her fucking base.
I like your solution that you came up with.
I do too. I don't like the one that they gave.
Well, if anyone ever needs it, I have a smaller portion of that wall, of that same sort of wall from the old Lord of the Rings, probably Return of the King box set over there. I just chose this because she hides behind this. This one, her like the top of her head's visible, but it would still be really good.
It looks like it's supposed to be there,
Mm-hmm.
and it isn't some dumb explosion.
And she's not on a piece of fucking concrete with an explosion underneath it, propelling her upwards, because that's not fucking dumb at all. Sorry. I have strong feelings about that. You know about me and bases, and some of their bases, I'm like, for fuck. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Some of them are fine. I just did Captain Sam America. That's Captain America Sam Wilson, for those of you at home. And I didn't really have a problem with the explosion that his wing was on there. Sure. In that same box, War Machine's got thruster, exhaust coming out. Cool. That's fine. Iron Fist that Bayman brings on can go fuck himself, because it's not so much the sock puppet. It's the fact that he's doing a flying kick with the flaming sock puppet hand. That's not how that thing fucking works. Also, I really love Iron Fist, and they did not do him justice.
No, there's a lot of people that won't buy that model just because of that.
I mean, I'll buy it eventually. I need to get a real. I'm actually probably going to buy a 3D print. There's a bunch on Etsy. Check out Etsy for all your guys' needs, guys. There's a bunch of great people on Etsy making good stuff. You want an alternate version of a character? You want some battle mechs? You want all sorts of crazy. You want Sergeant Slaughter as a Catachan like fucking commander? Etsy. I'm gonna buy that Sergeant Slaughter. I don't have an army for him. I don't care. It's Sergeant Slaughter. I love Sergeant Slaughter. He's great. But yeah, they have a bunch of and just favorite the fucking stores you like. They have all sorts of things. I mean, there's a whole. This one's got a whole superhero thing. Do you want an alternate Spider-Man to be the Amazing Spider-Man? Cool. Do you want an alternate Hawkeye in old Hawkeye uniform? Great. Do you want an Iron Fist that doesn't suck? He's got that too. Did your Deadpool sword break off because it's fucking sitting out there on its own and been weakened from fucking everything, and you want to replace it with some other model, and you found Gwenpool, whose tactical rock is the words tactical rock? They've got that too. That's not actual real life story or anything.
I love it.
Okay, I'm lying. That was totally a fucking real life story. Hey, is Magneto's base way too much shit for you? Did you just want something a little less? But they got that. I mean, there's a lot of models there. If it shows up, like, here's the one we thought about. Do you want to proxy Baron Zemo with someone more appropriate to your force? Well, cool. How about Captain Carter from What If with the sword she had in that last little bit? Does that sound good? If that sounds good, guess what? They got that. I'm like a big sales commercial for Etsy. Not advertising anyone in particular, but they probably have that thing you want.
True story.
So check it out. I'll be showing off stuff probably on my Hobby Streak post as I get more in, because they're good stuff. Also, Kathy, I found a Vincent sticker. Vincent from the Black Hole? I mean, this guy?
Yeah.
If someone does a sticker of him, I'm like, fuck, if I ain't going to buy a hell of a lot of them. Because that's awesome. I'm like, I don't know why you randomly have a Vincent sticker, but he also got a Gritty sticker, which is awesome.
You're in on it.
I don't know if you like Gritty or not, but Gritty is awesome. You'd probably dig this one. I'll send this one to you later. Actually, I'll send it to you now because I'm going to forget later. I might be slightly inebriated. Might be lying about the slightness of it all. All right. What were we talking about? Am I rambling? I'm rambling, aren't I?
I didn't notice.
Well, I appreciate that.
I'm getting ready to prime models. So that's where I'm at. That's the game I'm playing right now here.
I have plenty primed. Actually, I'm making good progress on models. I just need to finish that door so I can finish that base, and they can work on Magneto, have him done. Toad's coming along. I've got Sin in the works. Just want to get through. I've got a backlog of, again, of Marvel models. I got approximately this many still in boxes to work on afterwards. I don't know what order they're going to be in, but because I'm probably going to switch from playing Avengers to playing Cabal, unless, of course, Banyan starts playing more and wants to play Cabal. But, you know, I'm not holding my breath for that particular bit.
I have a feeling that's a call out.
What? No. A call out would sound like, hey, Banyan, play more fucking games. That's a call out.
Mm-hmm. So I used a new thing, this extra heavy gel gloss medium from Golden. This is the Golden extra heavy gel gloss, very thick, clear drying acrylic medium, and I used it on this base for this because this is transparent resin.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted this to kind of be, I don't know why, because I'm going to paint over it anyways, but whatever. So I don't care if it, eventually all this white, because it starts out white, but all this white would end up drying clear eventually. It takes a while if you pile it on as thick as I did. Jim suggested that maybe layer it. So start out with a thin little bit and let that dry clear,
Like
and then
parfait.
put some more on. But I did it all at once, so the stuff down here is still not dry yet because I just did it like.
Is it like a water effect type of dealio?
You could. It's intended to be mixed with acrylic paint.
Oh, so you get colors now, so you can make you like.
So you absolutely can add it to paint, but in its state like this, you can use it clear, and it does make a good water effect. And that's what I'm going to use when I do my my bases for my Marauder Horsemen, because I always intended to have the horses kind of splashing through water as they were riding.
All right.
So this is the first one I've used it on, though. This is the first time I've actually had my own jar of heavy gel gloss.
Are you gonna like try and like put like hoof prints in the back of the base too, like they've been running?
I kind of wanted to make snowy bases.
Oh.
That also have water, like, so there's snow and then there's like a creek, like they're on kind of like the bank of a creek or
okay, yeah,
something like that, where part of it is snow and land, and then the other part is just this shallow sort of water that the hooves are just splashing through. That was always the idea for those Marauder Horsemen.
Yeah, and with horses, it's difficult because, like, I mean, did they really put is their other hoof print really on the base, or did they pass over that entire area because they're fucking full steam ahead?
Yeah. Or is it just the guy in front of them? And now they don't have to be ranked up. Thank goodness, because I'm telling you, those Marauder Horsemen, guess what? They don't sit next to each other well in rank.
Nope.
I was going to say some witty, bullshit straight face thing about how I miss the Tetris that was ranking up models, but I'm way, way too deep into alcohol for fucking make that up. So I honestly really like that. I like 90% of Age of Sigmar, to be honest. It's just not a game that me and my crew play, so I don't put a lot of thought into it.
Yeah.
Hell, I got a whole Troggoth army, and like I said, this is in recording. If they make a Goblin Wolf Rider army, I will buy the fuck out of Goblin Wolf Riders.
Oh,
Don't you fucking worry.
Oh, yeah.
Will I play more games? I'll buy the fuck out of Goblin Wolf Riders, though.
Mm-hmm.
Because then it's like ElfQuest, just green. That's right, I'm going deep with my references now.
Oh, shit.
So deep.
That's one I would really like to get the whole series of and just read it all, because I have not read all of them.
I read them when I was in college. When I had a roommate who had all of the ElfQuest books, all the comics, graphic novels. And and I read all of them because, I lived with them. And I really enjoyed them. She was a little crazy into it.
Yeah, my mom had gotten me like 3 of them in like a colored mini digest form that I thought were great, and then I never found any of them more. And then they released them again a while ago, and my wife found out and she bought me them. They weren't color, but I'm okay with that, even though I prefer color. Like black and white is fine, manga and all that, but I really prefer color. It's a better medium, respectfully. But I enjoyed the crap out of them. I still never finished the series, and now I'm in like, when am I gonna get time? Shit, I just got done reading my cousin's book that came out in July last week, so it's obvious I don't have enough time for all this shit. I need to make time.
Yeah.
But my YouTube, anyways, media section.
Is it already?
Media
You
section.
can keep painting up if you want to, Gonzo. We don't have to.
I had to let it dry. The white was taking a lot longer
Yeah.
to dry, and I needed to do another coat of white, and I got that in there. That's what
Yeah.
I was looking for.
That's why we all use multiple models when we're painting, Gonzo, so you have time to let it dry.
Well, that's the
That's
reason I worked
so
on that other
true.
model, and it just. All right, let's switch over.
I have a bunch of models that I'm working on right now.
I got a whole.
And now I'm getting the primer on.
Yeah.
And look at me not having to go outside when it's 10 degrees out. And primer, I can do it right here, right now, while I'm podcasting.
Was it someone in the UK on Twitter's like, I don't understand you Americans and saying it's too cold to prime. If I let that stop me, I'd never get anything primed. I'm like, I know what you're talking about. My brush on primer works fine, motherfucker.
Yep.
Because it does. This just in. Adapt. Overcome. That's how we roll.
You have to when it's only 10 degrees Fahrenheit.
I don't know how temperatures. Huh? Alexa, weather.
Currently, in Pasadena, it's 41 degrees Fahrenheit with showers. Tonight, you can expect clouds and showers, with a low of 26 degrees.
There you have it. Anyways, media.
That sounds like we've got 40 and 20 showers.
Showers.
We have 10 and fucking cold.
10 and fucking.
So,
cold.
engineers, you're correct to a point, but after a certain point, it is the heat or cold for primer. Because if it's hot enough, even if it's humid, it will still fuck up the primer as you're spraying.
Yeah.
If it's too humid, no bueno. Not humid enough, no bueno. So, have a backup plan.
I don't even want to worry about it anymore.
Nope.
You
Don't
know,
worry about
and
it.
so now I don't have to. I can just sit here, prime all this stuff.
And I mean, honestly, I got an airbrush I'm going to hook up eventually. And then I can airbrush that shit.
I got a new airbrush coming too. And finally get back to
Yay.
doing that because I got some vehicles and some other models that I have to put that color shift paint on. So.
Does that stuff airbrush well?
Oh, that's how it should be done. It makes it a whole lot easier. You don't have to, and it doesn't streak or anything. That's the best way to do the color shift is by airbrushing it.
Oh gosh, yes, I've heard that too.
Yeah, beyond belief. So John, you got like 17 things, I'm sure, right?
No.
Kathy, you've got like 10.
2, 3.
Yeah, John, I have like 2, 3.
Well, I just did a couple of catching up on stuff, but I only have one that it really, really is. I think I wanted to talk about, but
I
other than
feel like also, Gonzo, I'm gonna let you go ahead and run with your Wheel of Time stuff because I just don't know when I'm gonna have time to actually sit down and watch that.
Well, let's go and go with that. So, I watched the entire season of Wheel of Time. Everybody knows this. Everybody's read the book, says this is one of the great, series of all time. I couldn't get past book 1, but people said it's really good and so on and so forth, which it's okay, no problem. Really good high fantasy and stuff. And so I watched the entire season 1, and it is getting to season 2 already. This show is very B-rated type fantasy. The acting is not great. The special effects are very B-type special effects. They made a big... I don't remember, some actor or director or whatever made a comment that they didn't get the budget like the new Lord of the Rings TV series is getting on Amazon, and they only got a very small portion compared to Lord of the Rings. And I go, yeah, you
because
can
brand
tell.
name.
Yeah, brand name, beyond belief. But I mean, you can tell the special effects, they're okay. The acting, I understand that they kind of wanted to go with like people that were not named. So it wouldn't, people wouldn't be there just for that. They would come for the story, but the story is not great. It's just an okay TV series. It's like a CW show, but not a great CW show. I'll give season 2 a try, but for the most part, a lot of people have said that this is not following the books very well. They deviated from it quite a bit. And I'm not happy with it because I thought it was going to be really, really cool, Game of Thrones-esque production values, but the production values is very low on this. And I think that's what really kicks it off more than anything. The acting it's not great, but it is definitely subpar. And it kind of a bummer because this is a show that should have gotten a good treatment and a good budget and good everything, and it just falls apart. The characters I'm not really interested in. They tried to condense too much into one season. For the people that have read the books, they say that this is way off the rails, and
that's
it's definitely
bad
not.
Because you can't rush it. I mean, it's like a bajillion books long series. You can't rush the character.
But it's a TV series where they're not going to get all of it, so you got to rush it. That's the hell of making a series out of a TV series out of a book series.
Yeah. Banyan and Legionnaires, it is a lot of people says that it's very, the best way to put it, Wheel of Time light. Definitely doesn't, because you really don't get a feel for the world. You don't get a feel for, what's going on or the story or the history or anything. And it's all really rushed. And you can tell it's rushed. Even though I only read half of the first book, you can tell it's really rushed. And Wheel of Time, yes, is a very long series. So I would be surprised if it made it past season 2. They would have to do some really, really good stuff to get past season 2. So I feel bad because I know that this is a good series. It wouldn't be if a lot of people were, say, if you can get past his writing style, you'll love it. But I couldn't get past his writing style. But everybody says it's a great series. And I feel bad for people that love the series and are watching this show.
I'm going to say something controversial. I know, rare. If you have to start it with the phrase, if you can get past his writing, then it's not a great series. It is merely a good series.
Yeah. Because
the greats don't care if you can like their writing style, the style of the movie or anything. They're just great. Yeah. It can still be very good, but if the writing style holds it back from broad appeal, it'll only ever be very good. And that's okay.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But production-wise, this is very low. For a series that should have had a very good budget and should have done everything, it is very low budget. It feels very B 80s fantasy type thing.
So I like it more or less than Beastmaster.
Well, Beastmaster is a classic and is like one of the pinnacles of I don't know. You'll probably like the series, but you'll definitely see it. I think you'll see it the way I see it. You can go, this is very B movie, B TV series.
So I'm going to tell you, given my amount of time and other news we'll be talking about here soon, I don't know if I'll have time to watch it then.
Correct. For you, I would say pass.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't see you enjoying this. I don't see you liking this. You would probably go, okay, I can tell if there's something here, but it's not there.
Yeah, and I'm really interested in fantasy stuff right now because I'm about to run a fantasy game, so I want to get in the right mindset because I have too much other stuff in my head right now.
Yeah. So,
speaking fantasy games and running games, you guys, guess what I got this week? And I totally forgot to mention this earlier before the media section.
Dungeon Master's Guide.
And
I
Player's
got the
Handbook?
Dungeon Master's Guide.
Yeah, buddy.
It has begun.
So I'm going to give it a 2.5 Space Harpies because it's not great, but it's not bad either. And if you're a fan and you got time, watch it. But it's not great. I'm really disappointed because I was really looking forward to it and getting into it. So, John, what you got?
So on the opposite end, acting wise, since Sidney Poitier passed this week, I was gonna watch Sneakers, but decided no. I've seen Sneakers enough. Let me watch another movie he had. So I went, The Jackal with Bruce Willis. I'll watch that. Wasn't free. Well, I'm like, well, if I'm fucking paying, I'm gonna watch a movie I haven't seen before. So I watched In the Heat of the Night, the movie with Sidney Poitier and Rod Steiger and Warren Oates. And I'm not going to give this, just spoiler for the end, I'm not going to give this a Space Harpy rating because it is an older movie from the 60s. And I don't feel like that's fair. Because, yes, it's dated. Yes, the style is dated. It's from the fucking 60s. Mm-hmm. So the whole plot is they find a businessman who's moved to this small town of Sparta, Mississippi, dead. And the first person they pick up as potentially a suspect is Virgil Tibbs, played by Sidney Poitier, who's actually a homicide detective from Philadelphia. They figure that out and then ask him for help, and then it goes into, Virgil Tibbs, who's black, in Sparta, Mississippi, in the fucking 60s, helping them figure out a murder. And it is not 100% about the murder. It's a lot about the murder plus racial tensions of that time. And I'll say it is not always going to be a comfortable watch. Because there is shit that happens in there that you will go, that is fucking wrong. One scene, not to spoil, was a big scene at the time, is actor playing the white, we'll call him a plantation owner. He owns a cotton business. It's basically a plantation owner. When he finds out that Mr. Tibbs is questioning him related to the murder, slaps him, and Sidney Poitier just slaps his bitch ass right back. And he says the thing like, there was a day where I would have had you shot for that, boy. And I'm like, he's a fucking police officer. Mm-hmm. You should fucking be in handcuffs right this fucking moment. So it is not a comfortable movie. Don't expect to watch it and be comfortable with that. It actually does push that. None of the characters in it are perfect. I like that. But it is a good movie. Sidney Poitier and Rod Steiger and even Warren Oates just nail it in their roles. I think everyone who does a part in it does a pretty good job. There's a couple that are a little extra, but it tells a good story. Good follow through in all the parts it does. And Sidney Poitier, for the most of that movie, is the epitome of a cool cat. Not taking anything. I mean, he's obviously not happy by all this shit going on, but he's not like constantly raging or anything. It's great. I mean, I enjoyed the crap out of it. I do suggest giving it a watch. It is not for free anywhere. I did rent it off Amazon Prime. I felt like I got my $3 worth easily. And great performance. On the grand scheme, do we remember what movie was in the middle?
Kathy? No, I don't remember.
Oh, what was it? I just watched it only a few weeks ago.
In any case, it is quite honestly, I would say, from the middle of the scale to Casablanca, it is about a third of the way towards Casablanca.
Okay.
It is dated and it is uncomfortable material, which is always going to make it harder to watch for us now in theoretically more, enlightened times. At the very least, we know that someone would have been motherfucking arrested for that shit. And I think we need to watch movies like this to keep us uncomfortable about the stuff, to realize Sure, no, the 60s, late 60s seems like a while ago, but it really fucking wasn't.
No.
Mm-mm.
And we need to fight against this happening. So watching movies like this that make us a little bit uncomfortable and realize that just, I mean, I, I mean, it's not too far before I was born that this shit was happening. And I grew up in the North. You can call Maryland the border state, whatever. It's the fucking North. We didn't have this shit growing up. It was never a big deal, but some places it is a big deal. And watching these movies will help us remember the uncomfortableness and hopefully help us keep it from fucking happening. So, good movie. I enjoyed it. Sidney Poitier did a great job in it. There's a sequel or two I don't think I'll watch necessarily because that doesn't seem like it's necessary. But there's also a TV series.
Yeah, they made the TV series based off of it too,
which
with
also has a great
Daryl
cast.
O'Connor as
Yeah.
Gillespie.
Yep. And I mean, Rob Steiger did a great job. It also felt almost rushed in a way. You ever want to remake something? Remake this in a modern series format where you can do 8 episodes and be done with it. It would be great because you can get more into everything. Because like a lot of stuff from that era, like I've noticed that like maybe like 80s and before, in the 80s it was sort of hit or miss, but a lot of stuff you always felt like there was more there, but you never got through it,
Mm-hmm.
So this is one of those as well. Like they do form a little bit of a bond in it, and you'd like to see more of that. There's obviously a respect for him by the end, but you could tell it better with a longer story. But I think it does a heck of a job for an hour and 50 some minutes. So there you go. Kathy?
I've been over here painting.
Mm-hmm.
I
can see.
watched a show yesterday that I haven't seen since it came out in the theater in 1991,
Ooh.
and it's a Disney show, and it's a cartoon.
I'm trying to
Well,
remember what came out in
animated.
1991.
I think they call it animated nowadays. Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, I've seen that one.
Yeah, it's not uncommon. It's just I saw it in the theater in 1991, and I haven't seen it since then.
I mean,
I
Kathy, that's-
remembered
I've seen
very
it since
little
then.
about it except for the basic premise.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, not exactly my oeuvre, not exactly aimed at John's demographic, but I've seen it. I thought it was good. You know,
Not aimed at the Kathy demographic either, because I did not grow up watching the Disney cartoon movies. I never saw Cinderella. I still haven't to this day, or Sleeping Beauty,
well,
or a lot of those classic animated.
I'm going to say Kathy is more of a live-action TV series Beauty and the Beast kind of person.
You know, I didn't see that either, but that's partly because in the 90s I was living, out of my van and didn't have electricity or a TV.
I mean, fair enough.
So I probably would have watched that if I had had the chance.
So how did you like Beauty and the Beast at this point in your life?
I cried. Of course, I had just been talking about my dad earlier, and so my eyes were already leaky. But I watched it and I cried. Like there were parts of it that were just touching to me. Now, the weird thing is that the Beast isn't ugly in this. He's really cool looking actually, and I'm like, oh my god, I want to pet him. He's not scary at all. I don't know if I would feel that way if he was, his slavering fangs were, at my throat. But I didn't feel like the Beast was scary. If it was really, really the tale of a hideous beast who is frightening to behold, and how you had to learn to love him, based on his actions and him learning how to treat somebody else with actual respect, then he could have been more hideous. I'm just saying, you could have thrown a Nurgle Beast there, and that would have been ugly. that would have been a beast. And also, I didn't remember Gaston being so evil. I didn't remember what his motivation was aside from that,
So being
you
a
know,
douche.
yeah, aside from him being a douche, and aside from villagers with torches and pitchforks storming the castle like they do in every Frankenstein, monster movie. But I didn't remember that it was because Gaston wanted to marry Belle and lusted after Belle and was so jealous that she might have feelings for this person in a castle somewhere who is hideous. And he's so affronted and jealous, and mean that he decides to inflame all the villagers with, anger and fright, and fear, that they all go up to murder this guy in cold blood so that he can have the girl.
A girl who is never going to want him because he's a fucking tool.
Yeah.
And she likes books and he doesn't like books. That's a pretty insurmountable...
Yeah, he has no respect for her or what she might want at all.
He wants a trophy
her...
wife, a beautiful wife.
Yeah, he wants a trophy wife, just like he has a bunch of trophy heads on his wall from hunting.
It's a good story to show people because it shows properly that shit's fucking wrong, and Gaston is not cool. He's a fucking tool.
He's a horrifying monster is what he is. He is the beast.
Yep, you hit the nail on the head. That's the true story of that. And I do like that. I like the Disney ones where they did a lot of that. They did a lot of telling morals wrapped up in a good story.
So yeah, it has zero space herpes. The music is really fun.
Yes.
It was very it had that very early 90s, late 80s feel to it. I loved it though. The animation.
Oh yeah.
It's amazing. I mean, it's Disney, but
well, if you remember that dancing scene between her with her in the yellow dress and the Beast, that was the first mix of contemporary and computer animation to really hit majorly.
I didn't even realize that, but I remember that's the one scene that I remembered most from when I saw it in the theater in 1991. That's the thing that I remembered most, and I remembered how amazing it looked to me back then.
And all of the secondary characters are great characters.
Oh my god, yes.
It is definitely, one of the ones I enjoy overall. I mean, it's no Robin Hood, but I mean,
that's another one I haven't seen. Another one of the timeless classic Disney animations that I've never seen.
You really let me know when you watch that, so I'll rewatch it at the same time, just so we can talk about it.
You really need to watch. You need to watch Encanto. I don't know about you, but I've gotten people to watch that, and they're like, "Holy crap, is this good?"
Oh, I did hear something about that.
The music is amazing in it. I've been listening to the soundtrack for the last 5 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even now, I've got the lyrics stuck in my head. See, we don't talk about Bruno.
I've seen that meme. I just don't know about it.
It was really, really good. I enjoyed it. I really like the soundtrack a lot. So.
Oh.
Wanted to talk about one thing that I watched this week, and I guess season 2 is coming out in a few days, and it was on HBO Max. It is a show called Station 11. It is very relevant to today, so it is a very fair warning. The show is a post-pandemic show after a major flu epidemic that ravages the world. Yeah. And that's
you know what? I've just hidden every show that's about, a virus ravages, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, nope.
Fuck off.
Yep. And so that's the reason why I'm saying this now. So I was watching it, and the first episode, I'm like, crap, this hits home hard. And I'm like, I don't know if I can watch this because it's hitting home. But Like, let me see it, because there's a lot of people that have some really good, words about it. And so I stuck through and watched the entire thing. It is a post-pandemic. They do flashbacks of what happened during when this happened and ravaged the planet. And the flashbacks are good and easy because the flashbacks are 20 years in the past. So the actors and actresses are easily distinguished between who they are. But what I really, really like about this show is that this post-apocalyptic show is not like this everybody's out to kill everybody and everybody's Walking Dead type killing gory stuff
good.
type thing. And I was afraid that it was going to happen, was that was what's going to happen, because that's typically what happens in those shows. Now, are there problems with people trying to steal and fight for stuff? Yes, but it is not like that. This actually is a story and a show with heart, and people trying to do good, and people trying and doing things to better society past what has happened. And it's very weird. It is a very trippy show, because there's an episode where the main character goes back, and of course she's reliving parts of the past, because they're trying to, build up to what's happened in the 20 years. And it's very intriguing. It plays that, yes, there was a pandemic. Yes, this killed like a lot of the world, shitty stuff happened. We're trying to make it better, and this is how we're trying to do it. And it is a story about a roving band of actors and actresses going around Florida putting on plays to make people happy. So it's a different twist on the whole scenario, and I thought it was very interesting. And I'm liking it. Of course, like I says, it does hit home quite hard, because of what they're going. But this is based on a book that was written a while ago. So, it wasn't like this was, we're going to capitalize on the pandemic. They're probably capitalizing it now, but the book was done long before that.
Let's be honest, it's not the only thing where you can't watch it because of current circumstances.
Correct.
I was looking through my DVDs and Blu-rays I haven't watched. I'm like, oh, here's V for Vendetta. Nope.
Nope.
Nope. Hard nope.
Yeah.
So years and years ago, maybe 1995, I was at an airport and was getting ready to take a flight, and I got a book called Timeline by Michael Crichton.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Crichton.
And in it talks about the world as it was. I mean, not as it was now, but it was not that far into the future. It wasn't like it was sci-fi or anything, but it was like a little bit into the future, where there had been some worldwide pandemic that caused them to have to take precautions, like when people were traveling from one country to another country, and how they would have to have these like full body scan medical probe kind of things to ensure that they were virus free and stuff. And this is an archaeologist, I think. It was a long time ago when I read it. It was over 20 years ago, I think now, or around
27.
Yeah.
If it's 95.
When I read this, so it was a long time ago. I may be misremembering a little bit, but the gist is that there's an archaeologist or something, and she ends up digging up these bones and stuff that turns out to be the bones of, or the property or something of somebody in not the Middle Ages, the Middle Ages, when the Black Plague was happening. And somehow they end up, and it goes back and forth between the present day and back then, when whoever it was, experiencing the Black Plague. So there's like the people in the past who are experiencing that, and then it flashes forward to this archaeologist and their friend as they're ending up with the plague somehow. Like they dug this stuff up and they ended up getting infected, as I recall. And then they have to go through all of this, like the papers and the writing. They discover this like writings of somebody from back then, and it turns out that they had a cure or a treatment or something for the plague. And so they decided to try this because it was impossible for them to somehow, I don't remember. But the thing that I was reminded of when everything started with what's going on now is what they did at the airports for people, this incredibly invasive medical checkup to make sure that if you're traveling from one country to another country that you're not, carrying this lethal virus with you. It's like, wow.
Well, the funny thing is that's good science fiction, because even the near future is still near science fiction, but he literally probably just based it off, the Spanish flu.
Yeah.
The 1918 pandemic. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we weren't taught about that in school, and probably fucking should have. That would have helped a little bit, don't y'all think now? So, but no, Michael Crichton was always like that, though. He's always, rest in peace, Michael Crichton. I'm pretty sure he's passed. He's always been sort of on that edge with all of his books.
Yeah.
We think about all the ones he's written.
Yep.
So, but yeah, there's certain things you just can't watch right now.
Yeah. And I was almost at this with this series when I was watching it, because I was like, oh, crap. No, let's stick through it. And I'm glad I did, because it is a show that is based after, a post-apocalyptic event, but the characters are the heart of the show, and it's not about survival, it's about living, if you get my meaning. It's not about killing each other. It's not about, fighting over resources and stuff. It's about living.
Hope and rebuilding.
Well,
Pretty
so
much.
It's like Battlestar Galactica. It's not enough to survive. You have to be worthy of survival.
Yeah. And so it's been pretty good. The new season comes out this week. They'll probably do like one episode a week or whatever, so I'll continue to watch it. But I'm enjoying it. I like it. It's pretty interesting.
I like the one episode a week format. It gives you something to look forward to. I couldn't do too many like that, but just maybe one right now. We're past our time. But
you want to hold off on that one until next week?
I don't have to work tomorrow. But we're not going to give a full review because it won't spoil anything. I don't think Kathy's seen it. Book of Boba Fett, it's good. Watch it.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
For the people that are bitching about it, John and I had a little quick discussion. People have always said, I want to know more about the world. I want more about it. I want more fluff. Best way to put it. You've got more fluff. Quit your bitching. And this is good fluff. Just
because Boba Fett's not who you thought he was, because he was not a developed character. Hey, it's okay.
And characters can
enjoy
change.
it for what it is. Yeah.
Even if you thought, and they originally were supposed to have Boba Fett as this badass going around killing people nonstop, he changes.
Even in Legends, he was a more complicated character than you thought.
Yeah. Character is a person.
What?
Yeah. Like, honestly, my favorite Legend stories of Boba Fett was not the stuff like Tales from Jabba Palace, where he's been chasing Han Solo for his whole life, because that's stupid. No, my favorite is it's a comic book called Boba Fett Twin Engines of Destruction, and the whole premise is that someone had been, while he was quote-unquote dead, someone got Mandalorian armor and just pretended to be Boba Fett. Did not make people think he wasn't Boba Fett, and just basically got, treaded off his reputation. And he was offended by that. So he killed the guy. It was awesome. I liked it. Still have it. There you go. Cool. But I think this is very good, and I like where it's going. I love what they're doing with Tusken Raiders. They're not just the mindless savages. There's more to them. Hey, Anakin.
Doing that from The Mandalorian, because I really appreciated that.
They go even more detail, and it's really good. You'll like this.
As a kid, the Tusken Raiders, I have to say, when I saw Star Wars for the first time when I was 7, the Tusken Raider as a 7-year-old or a 6-year-old or whatever, those were one of my favorite thing in the entire movie. Of all the things that you could have liked as a 6-year-old watching Star Wars, that was the thing that grabbed me the most somehow.
Everyone spoke of them with respect, like, okay, you can't fuck with Tuskens, basically,
Yeah.
you know, and all this stuff. You didn't need to have background, but the backstory they've done, Favreau and crew have taken their time and went, let's make it fit.
Yeah.
They're obviously taking bits from various real life stuff, but it's not any one source. It's really good. I like it. It's enjoyable. I've
It's
been
very
enjoying
solid.
every episode.
So, well, guys, we went over, which is okay, because, I mean, it's our 200th episode. We're allowed to. It is our podcast. We can do that. We appreciate everybody coming out and listening, either on Twitch or any of our other platforms. We are going to be sending everybody off to Vlieger Dragon. Make sure you go there and say hi to her. She'll be doing some RPG, and keep an eye out not only for John streaming his Mech Warrior, but Gonzo will be doing a world building thing on stream. Where if you haven't seen it, if you're not attached to him on Facebook, I will be building my own world, doing some stuff, and streaming a bit, and getting input from people as I do it. Also,
Is this on your Facebook Live?
no, I'm going to do it on Twitch. It's just I've been talking about it on Facebook.
Oh, okay. So is it on Friday? Is it this Friday you're going to do it?
I'm probably going to do it this Friday. I have to make sure, just to be positive that I don't have anything come up. But I plan on doing it on Friday and rolling the dice to build the map
Well,
on the poster board. That's what my plan is.
And check out Kathy weekdays on her
Yes.
own channel, because she's awesome.
She is awesome.
Yay.
She's the best Wapple. So, guys, wash your hands. Go get your vaccine. Go get your booster. Stay safe. Wear your mask.
We want to see you guys for episode 300.
Yes.
yes.
So, for More Than Dice, I'm Gonzo.
I'm John.
I'm Kathy.
Good night.
Good night. I got a bunch of
night.
stuff crime.
I got a lot of stuff drunk.
I got some painting done.
I looked at paints. Does that count?